Welcome back, students, to my new lecture on the topic feather in birds. Feathers are remarkably complicated epidermal appendages of the integument. They are modified reptilian scales formed from the bitter keratin layer and found only in the birds. Feathers are specially designed in nature for birds' volant life. Feathers are strong and delicate in structure. They provide good insulation, effective air displacing structure. In general, there are three categories of the feathers: phylloplums or hair feathers or pin feathers, plumuli or down feathers, plumie or contour feathers. Feathers are shed periodically in a process that is known as molting. During molting, feathers are not shed at once. New feathers are developed as the old ones are shed. So first one, phylloplums or the hair feathers. Hair feathers appear superficially like hair. They may observe on a chicken after it has been plucked. The hair feather consists of long slender sac which bear few barbs at its distal end. The sap is embedded in the skin and surrounded by the feather follicle at its base. Hair feathers are scattered over the surface of the body, but in some birds, such as flycatchers, they are concentrated about the mouth where they help in catching insect. In peacock, they are unusual length. They are unusual in length. And these are the bracteals. And what are the difference in between the bracteals and the hair feathers? In case of the hair feathers, presence of the barb, but in case of the bracteal, they lack terminal barb. Now the second one, down feather, that is also known as plumuli. Down feather is composed of a basal short hollow quill. This is a short hollow quill that is embedded in the integument, and that consists of numerous barbs which arise from free end of the quill. The barbs bear tiny barbules. These are the small barbules here. Along their edges, this is said when the contour feathers emerge later. Down feathers of adult bird lie under the large contour feathers and are usually form a warm insulating layer, which not only aids in temperature control but also assists in warming the eggs during incubation period. The down feather of either duck is used for stuffing pillow, has high commercial value. Now, contour feather, that is also known as plumie, except penguin, ostriches, and toucans. The contour feathers arise from certain areas of the skin that are known as feather tags or trelli. Large area between trelli are also known as aptera, that is a featherless zone. Hair feather and down feather may occur in the apteria. However, the contour feathers gives the body its outline, so they are known as contour feathers. The specials, contour feathers that are present in the wing that are known as remiges or the flight feathers, and the feathers that are present in the tail regions that are known as rectrices or the tail feather. The tail feathers also used as steering and brake during flights and works as balancing organ during walking or perching or flying. Now, plumage, the distribution of phylloplums, plumuli, and plumie consists the bird's plumage. The young birds, that is a first plumage called the nestling down or nuptials, that contains only the fluffy tips, emerging contour feathers. Now the nestling down is replaced by the juvenile plumage, that is a mesoptiles, that is a first full coat of feather. And it normally lasts through the first winter and is usually less brilliant in color. Shortly before the first mating seasons, the juvenile plumage is replaced by nuptial plumage that colors the birds and that are known as teleptiles. Now, what is the structure of a typical contour feathers? The typical contour feathers consist of a long central axis that is known as stem or the sap, and that contains on both sides two broad leaf-like flat structure that are known as vein. The stem is formed by the two parts. This is the upper part, and this upper part is a solid part that is known as rachis that bears a vein, and this is the lower part. That lower part is a hollow part that contain quill or the calamus, and that is embedded in the skin. Each vein consists of a number of birds. In the higher magnifications you see here, this is a bird that arises from the rachis, and each bird bears oblique set of processes that are known as barbules on both proximals and the distal ends. These are the proximal barbules and these are the distal barbules. Now, the lower part of each distal barbules bear hook-like structure. These are the hook-like structure that are known as barbicles or the hooklets, which fastens onto proximal barbules of the adjacent bird. Thus, the barbicles interlock with barbules of adjacent birds to stiffen the vein. Hooklets are lacking from the proximal barbules. Rachis bear a mid-ventral groove. This is a mid-ventral groove. That is an umbilical groove. When the contour feathers is ruffled, the barbules have become unhooked. Pruning rehooks the hooklets. And the quill, this part is a quill, that is a hollow part of the stem that is set in a follicle of the skin and that opens at the base. This opening is called the inferior umbilicus. Another opening that is known as superior umbilicus is present at the junction of the rachis and quill. Surrounding this opening, a soft feathers presence that are known as aftersapt or hyporachis. It also bears birds or barbules, but hooklets are generally lacking. Presence of birds and barbules, but hooklets are generally lacking. Now, how the feathers are developed? Feather development is initiated by the formations of the dermal papillae. Actually, the dermal papillae is a mass of mesodermal cells in the dermis that notches the under surface of the epidermis and induces mitotic activity at its basal layer. Now, the growth of the papillae and its inductor effect on the overlying epidermis results in a pimple-like elevation that is known as feather primordium on the surface of the skin. The dermal papilla becomes vascularized and thereafter it is the source of nutrients and oxygen for the developing feather. Similarly, it is the collecting sites for metabolic waste. As the feather primordium elongates, a pit lined with epidermis, the feather follicles that develops at the base. You see here, this is a feather follicles. Now, at the base of the feather follicles, a mitotically active growth zone proliferates tall columnar epithelial cells. These are the tall columnar epithelial cells that push towards the distal tip of the growing feather between the dermal papilla and the epidermis. Now, that is known as feather sheath. These epidermal columns separate from one another, conify and develops into buds. These are the buds. Conified layer is called the periderm and the developing feather at this stage is called the feather germ. A growing feather still surrounded by its sheath, that is pine feather. When the feather sheath splits open, the fluffy birds stretched out of their cramped quarters and the sap elongates. So when the feather is full grown, the dermal papilla in the sap dies and becomes pulp. The living basal portion of the papilla withdraws from the base of the sap, leaving an opening that is known as inferior umbilicus. New feathers develops from reactivated dermal papilla that have already given rise to feathers. All feathers are passively pushed out of the follicles by incoming feathers. Now, what are the functions of the feathers? The nerve fibers that's present at the base help the feathers to act as sensory structures to receive the tactile stimuli, produce a compact structure to resist air current, retains heat, and helps the birds from temperature hazards. It is a very light structure, so also help in flights, and in some birds, The feathers also indicates the secondary sexual characters. And these are the reference books: Elements of Chordate Anatomy, Weickert and Prest, Comparative Anatomy of Vertebrates, Saxena and Saxena, Vertebrates Comparative Anatomy and Functional Evolutions, Cardang, Comparative Anatomy of the Vertebrates, Kent and Mellers, and Integrated Principle of Zoology, Hickman et al.